Hello everyone and welcome to the second lesson on equations. Now, let's continue. Let's go ahead, my steps are still on the right hand side. Let's go ahead, I give you an equation which would be 2f minus 3 equals 7. Okay? Now, as always, my first step, I draw my scale. My second step is I need to eliminate the number furthest away from the variable. Okay, first of all, let's decide what the variable is. Oh, okay, so my variable is going to be f. Great. Now, which number is furthest away from the f? Is it the 2 or the 3? Well, it's the 3. Okay, so the 3 is furthest away from the variable. Right now, you're doing minus 3. What's the opposite of minus 3? Plus. The opposite of minus is plus. Doing plus 3. Remember, if you want to eliminate something, if you want to successfully do number 2, the only thing that you have to do is do the opposite of whatever's going on. So currently, if you're subtracting, the opposite of subtract is plus. Now remember, step 3, I must eliminate equally on both sides. If I'm adding 3 on this side, I need to go ahead and add 3 on the other side. Okay, let's bring it down. The 2 and the f, I haven't changed anything, so I can just bring that straight down. Negative 3 plus 3, well, those are opposites. Opposites cancel out. Equals 0. I don't have to write anything down. I bring down the equal sign, and then 7 plus 3 is 10. Excellent. We're not done yet. We still need to do step 4. Leave the variable alone. Currently, the 2 and the f are next to each other. They have no sign in between them. That means they're multiplying. What's the opposite of multiply by 2? Divide by 2. So we divide by 2, we divide by 2. Okay, remember we have to do it to both sides. Alright, 2 divided by 2, well that cancels out, gives me 1, the invisible number. I don't have to write that down. I just bring down the f, I bring down the equal sign, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Boom, you have your answer. Let's move on to another example. Okay, so for this example, let's say that I give you 6e minus 8 equals 40. First step, we draw the balance. Okay. Second step, let's identify the variable. And now let's find out which number is furthest away from it. Is it the 6 or is it the 8? That's correct. It's the 8. The 8 is furthest away from the variable. So right now you're doing minus 8. What's the opposite of minus? Plus. The opposite of minus 8 is plus 8. If you do it to the left, you must do it to the right. So let's go ahead and write a plus 8 on the right hand side as well. Negative 8 plus 8 are opposites. They equal 0. That cancels out. Okay, so let's bring down the 6e, which I haven't touched, so it stayed the same. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0. I don't have to write that down. Let me bring down the equal sign, and 40 plus 8 is 48. Okay, remember, step 4, leave the variable alone. The variable is not alone right now. It's next to a 6. If it's directly next to a 6 with no signs in between them, it has to be multiplication. So what's the opposite of multiplication? Division. Instead of multiplying by 6, we're going to divide by 6. I need to make sure I do that on the other side as well. 6 divided by 6 equals 1. They cancel out. 1 is the invisible number. I don't have to write that. I bring down my e. I bring down my equal sign, and 48 divided by 6 is equal to 8. We have our final answer. Let's do another example. Okay, so let's say now that I give you 6x plus 4 equals 28. Oh no, Mr. Pearson, what is this thing? It looks so weird. It looks so different. The equal sign is on the wrong side. Chill. It's the exact same situation. Okay? Number 1, you draw your scale. Your equal sign is over here, so that's where you're going to draw your scale. Boom. Done. Next step, eliminate the number furthest from the variable. Okay, well let's identify the variable. Right now the variable is on this side. Okay, so it's going to be 28 equals 6x plus 4. Well, which number is furthest away from the variable on the side that it's on? Is the 6 or the 4 furthest away from the variable? That's right, it's the 4. So what's the opposite of plus 4? Minus 4. Now remember, step 3, we need to eliminate equally on both sides. So if you are subtracting by 4 on this side, you need to do it on this side as well. So let's go ahead and add a minus 4 over there. Okay, so now let's just do the math. 28 minus 4 is 24. Let's bring down that equal sign. We can bring down the 6x. We haven't touched it after all. And then 4 minus 4 is going to be 0. We don't have to write that down. Okay, remember step 4, leave the variable alone. We're not there yet. Right now the variable has a 6 next to it. Let's get rid of it. These two numbers, the 6 and the variable x, they're multiplying. There's no sign in between them. They have to be multiplying. What's the opposite of multiply by 6? Divide by 6. Remember, if you're dividing by 6 on the right-hand side, you also have to do it on the left-hand side. Now, let's solve our equation. 24 divided by 6, well, that's going to be 4, equals 6 divided by 6 is my invisible number, 1. Then bring down the x. Here's my answer. X is 4. Let's do one last example, and then I will leave you be. Let us say that I give you 16 equals 7 plus 3j. Oh no, it's so different. No, it's not. Same exact situation as before. Follow your steps. Number 1, draw your scale. Number 2, let's identify what the variable is. In this case, it's j. Okay, now let's decide what number is furthest away from j. Is it the 3 or is it the 7? That's right, it's the 7. So this 7, it has no plus or minus in front of it, but I know from the whole of my life that if I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those are positive numbers. The 7 is positive. What's the opposite of positive? Negative. So we're going to subtract 7. If we're doing it to one side, we have to do it to the other. That's step 3. Okay, so now 7 minus 7, well, that's going to cancel out. It's going to give you 0. Okay, let's just subtract them. 16 minus 7 should be 9. Bring down the equal sign. 7 minus 7 is 0. And then bring down the 3j, which I haven't touched. Perfect. Now, step 4. Leave the variable alone. Currently, the variable has a 3 next to it. And the 3 and the j, since they're touching, there's no sign between them, they are multiplying. What's the opposite of multiply? The opposite of multiply is divide. And if I divide by 3 on one side, I must do it on the other side. Okay, now let's solve. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Bring down the equal sign. 3 divided by 3 gives you 1. The invisible number, that cancels out. I don't need to write it. And I bring down the j. Here is my answer. 3 equals j. J is 3. That's all.